Oh, yes, today. This is Peter Christian Hessing again, and welcome again to another interesting Peter Christian Hessing Save the World Talent program. I hope everything is going well with you and the family of God, and Jesus is blessing you, and that you are succeeding in all your work and all your dreams are coming through. Yes, my name is Peter Christian Hessing, and I'm a U.S. citizen. I do live here in America. And I really want to talk about trying to find solutions to the problems that we face here in the world. As we see, we have to instantly end poverty. I've been talking about trying to instantly end poverty now for the past 2 years. And you see what now is happening, that you have nearly 500,000 refugees fleeing out of Syria. They're Libya, Egypt, Iraq, Africa, fleeing out of these countries because of the civil war or of terrorism, but because of really poverty. They're not able to support their families anymore. They're fleeing, trying to get into Europe, into Germany, and all these other countries, Spain, Hungary, there, France, there. And it's becoming a massive problem. It's a massive humanitarian crisis. We definitely have to help them. But the main solution here, what I've been saying on for the past 2 years, is that we have to instantly end poverty in the world. I do have a book coming out, Instantly End Poverty in the World, several books that we are working on. And as I said, that the World Bank and the IMF and these big central banks that have hundreds of billions of dollars every year to help the poor peoples of the world, they have now to establish nearly 6 billion individual accounts for all the poor peoples in the world. You can't just give all the money to the governments. It is good that you can help the governments, but you see what now is happening is that the poor people are suffering, and they are fleeing now these countries. And this is why I said the World Bank now, International Monetary Fund, the European Central Bank, even of the Federal Reserve, all these major institutions, monetary institutions, now have to take some of that money and set up individual accounts for the billions of people in the world. Else you're gonna have this massive flood of immigrants fleeing out of these poor countries, trying to go into other countries, Europe, America, all these other countries. If we decide to bring these people out of poverty while they are in their own country, if we can help them while they're in their own country to come out of poverty, let them have money to start businesses and to have food and to have education. Let them build a business. A business is a job. If we were to create 6 billion businesses, that's 6 billion jobs. A business is a job. And this is what now the world has to do so as to prevent this flood of illegal immigration. I've been saying that now for the past 2 years. I've written to the presidents of many countries about it, President Obama. I've written to other leaders around the world about it. Now, we now have to instantly end poverty so as we can solve this massive immigration problem. I also want to also talk about we being able to prevent nuclear unconventional warfare. I do have also another book coming out which I want you to read and to get, and is entitled The 24/7 Safety Inspection to Save the World from Nuclear War, by me, Peter Christian Hessing. I hope that I'm working on them. I hope to be finished with this book by the end of 2015. Actually, the book on instantly ending poverty is nearly completed. I just have to, do some finishing touches on it, and you'll be able to get them. But the real solution is to instantly end poverty, and also we must create a preventive system to prevent us from nuclear war, as is what's happening now in the Ukraine, where the Russians have actually threatened to use nuclear weapons. Now we have to establish a 24/7 safety inspection system that will inspect all of the nuclear weapons in the world, and make sure that no country makes the mistake of trying to launch a first strike. We really have to ban a first strike. And this 24/7 safety inspection by the International Atomic Agency of all the weapons in the world is one of the ways that we have to do that. Let me go to my map here. I hope I drew this map. I'm not sort of a great artist. Actually, my sister is a better artist than me, and I'm going to probably ask her to draw what give me a better map here, map of the world. But this is a 24/7 system. How it would work was that we would probably have it here, and it's a system that would be run by the International Atomic Agency. We have nearly 4,100 operational nuclear weapons in the world in various countries. So we would have to, we could have, some people might say, but we should probably need about 4,100 inspectors. We need a 24/7 preventive system to prevent us from prevent nuclear war. And therefore, you would figure if we have 4,000 operational missiles, we should have probably 4,000 inspectors, but we probably might not need that much. But you're really going to need three shifts, 3 8-hour shifts, because these people are going to be working around the clock, these experts. And you can also have an electronic system that will run by audio and video. So this system would inspect. You have audio, live audio and video, all the nuclear weapons in the world. That's done by the United Nations, so as to prevent nuclear war. So you would have inspecting nuclear missiles in Russia, and also you would have it also inspecting the nuclear missiles here in America. We'd have it inspecting the nuclear missiles here in India and Pakistan. We have really to pay more attention to India and Pakistan, because India and Pakistan are nuclear nations, and they are constantly on the verge of nuclear war. So we definitely need an inspection system that would inspect the nuclear weapons of India and Pakistan. We also have China nearby, and this is really to prevent the first strike use of nuclear weapons. We really have to ban the first strike use of nuclear weapons. Something that we really have to ban there. And it's very important. More attention has to be made to preventing nuclear and conventional war between India and Pakistan. So this is International Atomic Agency. They would monitor and inspect all the nuclear weapons of India and Pakistan. Also China. China is also very next door there. And also we have North Korea. Also very important. In fact, a week ago there was actually a confrontation. There was nearly a war where North Korea and South Korea actually accelerated to a war. They nearly had a war between North and South Korea. So we really need this system also to have a 24/7 inspection of all the weapons, nuclear weapons in North Korea. And I know that it's very difficult to get the North Koreans to agree to anything. But they have to know, because they have to realize that there has to be some preventive system to prevent the first strike use of nuclear weapons, so you don't have the world being blown up by nuclear weapons. And of course you have it also up in Britain here. You have a safety inspection in Britain and France over there. So this would be a 24/7 system, a safety system that inspects and monitors all impartial system to make sure that there is no use of nuclear weapons by mistake, by people anger or stress or miscalculation, and also terrorism. You can have the instances could have instances where by mistake, by malfunction, where countries could wind up launching nuclear weapons. Also, Iran here, recently they have a deal there on Iran trying to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. So this is a 24/7 safety system that will be run by the International Atomic Agency round the clock, so as to make sure a safety system that no country makes the mistake of trying to launch nuclear weapons, because once they launch nuclear weapons, I mean, the world is basically destroyed. I mean, you have nearly 4,000 or more nuclear weapons in the world, and it is said that in half an hour the entire world will be blown up in half an hour, because once one country launches a nuclear weapon, then all these other countries are going to try to stop that, and it's just going to destroy the entire world. So we have also really to get the next president of the United States, whether we have Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump or Carly Fiorina or Dr. Carson or whoever, Jeb Bush or any of these Republicans, dear Senator Rand Paul, Senator Rubio, or Governor Senator Christie, whoever becomes our next president, or whether we have on the Democratic side of Mali or Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden. That the Vice President, Joe Biden, he might be considered running for president. Whoever becomes our next president is going to have the opportunity to negotiate this 24/7 inspection, safety inspection treaty with the Russians, the Chinese, the North Koreans, the British, the Indians, the Pakistanis, the Chinese, and the North Koreans there. So this 24/7 system is also going to monitor and inspect also nuclear weapons on ships and submarines, because what is happening now is that a lot of the nuclear weapons are being put on ships, and some of them a lot of them are actually being put on submarines. They're trying to move them from the land area. They're moving, they're moving and putting more these nuclear weapons on ships and submarines. So you would have, we might be able to put some inspectors on ships and onboard ships and onboard submarines to make sure that these nuclear weapons are safe. And also there you have also planes. It might be difficult to put inspectors on planes, because planes, the space on planes is limited. But we can have an electronic audio visual system there that we can monitor the nuclear weapons on planes and so forth. So this is also going to inspect all the nuclear weapons on ships, submarines, planes, anywhere. It's a safety inspection so as to prevent the accidental use of. It's very important that we do that. Know that the Russians actually have threatened to use nuclear weapons up in the Ukraine. They want to use weapons there. They want to use weapons, use weapons against the United States. And so we definitely have to have this round-the-clock system. As I told you years ago, I'm an inventor. We invented a receiving, retargeting missile that can receive and actually send back nuclear weapons. Like if the nuclear weapons were launched out of Russia, they will be sent back to Russia. It's an expanding system that we're trying to get a patent on. Or if they came out of North Korea, they would be sent back to North Korea. Or so became what of Iran, these missiles will be sent back. So nuclear weapons really, it's not advantageous anymore for countries to use nuclear weapons. Okay, so look for my new book, the 24/7 Inspection. This is Peter Christian Hessing, and thank you for joining me. God bless. Give your hearts and life to Jesus. Peace and love. As Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers, they'll be called the children of God. Peace and love.